Hello and welcome back. Today's video is going to be about Google accounts. Who here has one? These days, most of us do, right? We use Google pretty much for everything. Email, files in Google Drive, calendars, and YouTube. Have you ever thought about what happens to your Google account and the contents within that account when you pass away or are unable to access it? I'm guessing you likely haven't, because who does? Hi, I'm Kate Huffnagel, the Digital Wrangler. After working 25 years in high-tech fields like software development, big data, and artificial intelligence, I decided to put my technical prowess to use so that everyone can benefit. Today, we're going to be talking about Google's Inactive Account Manager feature. I know, it's a mouthful, isn't it? For those of you who have watched other videos of mine, I've talked about what happens to our digital accounts when we're unable to access them, whether we've been in an accident or we've passed away. And while technology is changing rapidly, the laws on the books, at least to some people, are lagging these ever-changing times. The current law on the books for digital stuff is RUFADDA. Here's what RUFADDA means. First, if an online provider offers a tool or a feature for you to designate someone to take over your account, that is what the law will look to first. And this is where Google's Inactive Account Manager comes into play. If you have a Google account and you unfortunately don't designate an Inactive Account Manager, your person, should they want access to your Google account, is going to need to provide Google with a boatload of documentation in order to request access to your account. And because your Google account is a digital thing as opposed to a physical thing, say like your house or a car, Google is going to want a copy of several legal documents, like your death certificate. They're also going to want a copy of legal documents, such as your will, that name a digital executor or a digital management plan. Or maybe your will specifically has a statement that says so-and-so is in charge of your Google account. Now, I don't know about you, but I don't know a lot of people who have their legal documents to that level of specificity. Additionally, this option, this second option of providing Google with all of this documentation, is going to take a lot of time, and it's likely going to require legal fees. And the sad part is, because of Google's privacy policy, which we absolutely love when we're alive, few people are successful. And on the off chance that they are, they may only be provided with some of the metadata, like subjects of emails, rather than be granted access to the entire Google account. So if you don't specify an inactive account manager on Google, and you don't have all those legal documents, or quite frankly, you don't have the time and the energy and the money to go through the second option, what you're left with then, RUFADDA, which is the law in the books, says we're going to follow Google's terms of service. And what terms of service ever benefit the individual? So we're going to loop back and we're going to talk about the Google Inactive Account Manager feature, and I'm going to walk you through today on how to get that set up. So let's take a look at that now. So the easiest way to get to it is to go into your Gmail. And from there, you're going to go into the upper right-hand corner and select Manage Your Google Account. From there, you're going to go into Data and Privacy. And you are going to have to scroll all the way down and go to More Options. And where it says Make a Plan for Your Digital Legacy, you're going to want to click that. So now you are presented with the Inactive Account Manager. Here, you're going to set up a plan in case that you are not able to use your Google account anymore. We're going to walk through pretty much every one of these steps. The first thing you want to do is let Google know when they should consider your account inactive. Google presents you with a list of different options in terms of a timeline. You'll see that I have my account set up for 6 months of inactivity. If you click on the pencil, you'll see that you have other options to select from as well. And like I said, for me, I've gone with 6 months of inactivity. But when you click the pencil, you'll see you have an opportunity to tell Google, hey, just wait 3 months, no big deal. Or on the flip side, maybe you want to go with a year or longer. Regardless, it's your personal decision, and this is where you would set that timeline that makes sense for you. So now that you've set your timeline as to how long Google should wait before determining that your account may be inactive, they're going to want to reach out to you in multiple ways to really make sure that your account is truly inactive. As you'll see, they want the ability to send you a text message. So you can click on the pencil and input the cell number for them to send a text message to. Obviously, they already have my primary email address associated with my Google account. And here you can also set up a recovery email account. Google will attempt to contact you via that email address as well. So at this point, you've already told Google how long to wait before they should consider your account inactive, and you have provided means for how Google can contact you to determine if that threshold that you have specified has been met. You've given them your cell phone number, you've given them your email address, and should you choose, you even have provided a recovery email address as well. So now what happens? Let's talk through this scenario. Right? My account has been inactive for 6 months. Google is attempting to contact me. They've sent me text messages, they've sent me emails. And obviously, if something has happened to me, I'm not responding to any of their outreach attempts, which leads us to our next step. Scroll down a little further, you'll see Google is prompting you to let them know who else they can contact. You'll see that Google lets you select up to 10 people to contact when your account meets your definition of inactivity. Let's walk through how to add someone to this list. First, you're going to click the pencil, and then you're going to type in the email address for your person. Once you type in their email address, you'll want to click Next. Now, here's where things really get fun, obviously depending on your definition of fun. Google presents you with a pretty long list of all the different types of data they are storing with your account. So for the individual that you just added their email address for, you're going to want to review this list to ensure they are going to have access to the data types that you want them to have access to. This person is going to have access to whatever data types you specify for 3 months after Google labels your account officially inactive. Let's take a look at some of the data types that are on this list. Your contacts. Yes, I have contacts on my phone, but maybe it's possible the contacts on my phone don't necessarily match the contacts in my Google account. So just to play it safe, I want my person to have access to my contacts. They're also going to have access to my Google Drive, which quite frankly, I'm banking on because I have some files in there that I want my person to have access to. Now, if you're a business owner, and if you have a Google business profile, that is listed here too. So perhaps you want your person to have access to everything. Or maybe you have a business partner and you want your business partner to have access to just the Google business profile. You can restrict that individual to have access to just that data type too. Additionally, you'll see a variety of other data types like Google Play, Google Photos. You'll also see Google Mail. That's a very important data set for your person. If you have any maps stored, purchases you've made, your Google profile, and all the way down at the bottom of this list, you'll see YouTube. Yeah, remember, Google owns YouTube. So if you're a content creator and have a YouTube channel, you want to make sure that the YouTube box is checked. This will give the individual you specified the proper and legal authority to access your YouTube channel, and that means everything, to include even downloading videos if they choose to do so. After you've reviewed this list and you've checked all the appropriate boxes for the specific data types you want this individual to have access to, you're going to want to click Next. And because this is Google, there's more steps. So when your account becomes inactive, let's talk about what happens. Google is going to flag your account inactive based on the timeline you specified. When that timeline is met, Google is going to make attempts to contact you, both via text and email. Now, obviously, if something has happened to you, you're not responding to Google. So now you have specified an individual or multiple people to have access to certain data types within your account. Now, Google wants to be able to verify the person or persons you have selected. And here, I'm highlighting that the individual will have the ability to download a copy of the data sets you specified. And in order for Google to verify that the person is actually the person you want to have access to your data, Google is asking that you provide them with the cell phone number for that individual or individuals. So I enter that number, and then at the bottom, you have the opportunity, should you choose, to send that individual a personalized message. So of course, I'm saying something like, hey babe, I'm making you my legacy contact for my Google account, kisses, Kate. Once I'm done with all of that, I click save. At this point, you have given Google all the information they need to attempt to get a hold of you and all the information they need to get a hold of your person or persons. You've also told Google that you want person A to have access to these data sets within your account. And for me, I'm choosing the easy button. I'm giving one person access to everything. Now, down at the bottom, there's one more thing to think about. You'll see the header, decide if your inactive Google account should be deleted. So Google is asking you, well, in this case, they're asking me, hey, Kate, do you want us to delete your account? I personally am going to have no problem with Google deleting my account. In fact, if I'm telling Google to go ahead and delete my account, I'm feeling confident that they're going to delete everything and they're going to delete everything properly. Whereas if I were to leave that to someone else, who knows what they would do? And quite frankly, who knows if they would do anything at all? So for me, I am telling Google, yes, please go ahead and delete my account. But there's something important I want to highlight here. I am not telling Google to delete my account immediately. What I am telling Google is, yes, Google, I give you permission to delete my account after you've determined my account is inactive, after my person has been notified and granted access to my account for 3 months. So at this point, we're talking at least 9 months later. Only then will Google take the action to delete my account. So for me, I'm toggling this on. And you'll see even the last line at the bottom, yes, delete my inactive account, and Google is emphasizing this happens 3 months after the account becomes inactive. So to wrap up, we have told Google how long to wait before labeling your account inactive. We have set up a person or persons to have access to your inactive Google account, along with letting Google know which data sets that person or persons can have access to. And finally, we have told Google if we're giving them permission to delete your account. So there you have it. That is Google's Inactive Account Manager. It's robust, and yes, there are a lot of settings for you to configure. And guess what? You can change your mind at any time. 6 months from now, 6 years from now, maybe something happens with the relationship that you've had with the person that you've designated, or heaven forbid, maybe something has happened to them and they're no longer available to be your inactive account manager. You can update these settings at any time. And more importantly, by having your account configured this way, Google will have no doubt who should have access to your account and what to do with your account when the inevitable happens. Thank you so much for watching. I'll see you soon.